GTA San Andreas is nearly 20 years old, yet even after hundreds of hours and countless playthroughs, it still hides facts that most players never discovered.
I know you blind, man, but you gotta see this.
Did you know you can actually save a helicopter at the Mulholland safe house? All you need to do is land a helicopter right on top of the garage roof, but make sure it's not blocking the garage door. Then, walk a little distance away so the garage door closes. The helicopter might seem like it disappears at first, but don't worry. Once you come back, the garage reopens, and the helicopter is still sitting right there on top. And getting up there is surprisingly easy. Did you know there's glitch that feels completely illegal? In GTA San Andreas, you can actually walk, drive, and even fly underwater. All you have to do is park a car right on the edge of this bridge in Los Santos, then provoke an NPC so they pull CJ out of the vehicle.
You ain't having this whip, fool.
When that happens, the game glitches and teleports you straight underwater, but now gravity and physics still work. You can walk around, drive vehicles, and even fly down there. Take a look at this. You already know about that massive plane parked at the Los Venturas airport. Most people think the only way inside is through the jet bridge in the hangar, but that's not true. You can actually enter the plane without using it at all. Just grab a tall vehicle, like a truck, park it next to the plane, climb up and press F and CJ will enter the plane without any problems. Simple and way more satisfying. Inside the LSPD garage, there's actually a hidden system the game never properly explains. That system is impounded vehicles. Just like in GTA 5, when you get busted, the vehicle you were using doesn't just disappear, it's secretly sent to the police impound. If you head deep into the police station garage, you can actually find your exact car sitting there, and yes, you can steal it back. Just don't expect the cops to politely let you leave. There's also a one-of-a-kind vehicle that only appears during the final mission. The SWAT tank that we use to smash through Big Smoke's crack fortress never spawns anywhere else in the entire game. So if you get a chance, just steal it and save it in one of your garage and restart the mission to complete it. This way, you keep the tank and complete the story. Trust me, you'll thank me later. On the edge of Easter Bay International Airport in San Fierro, you can find a set of ladders that look like they're meant to help CJ climb into the airport. The problem? You can't use them at all. They're completely non-functional. Most likely, Rockstar planned a ladder climbing mechanic during development, but it was scrapped for unknown reasons, and these ladders are one of the few leftovers. Nitro also has a surprisingly interesting mechanic tied to it. You probably already know that Nitro has a limited duration, and once it runs out, you have to wait before you can use it again. Or you can just exit and re-enter the car, which is a glitch than an intended feature. What's actually interesting is that the Nitro cooldown depends on how the car is moving. If you keep driving normally, it takes about 1 minute and 15 seconds for Nitro to recharge. But if you stay completely idle, the recharge time drops to around 20 seconds. Even stranger, for some reason, driving in reverse makes Nitro available again in just 10 seconds. Why the game works this way is unclear, and honestly, it doesn't really make much sense. The sunrise in the very first mission of San Andreas is actually iconic. Normally, this weather only shows up when you're out in the countryside later in the game, but Rockstar forced it into this mission on purpose, probably just because it looked so cool. It's actually a smart move too, because that's the first time players see San Andreas after the intro cutscene, and Rockstar clearly wanted to make a strong impression. There's also an insane glitch involving smoke grenades. If you throw a smoke grenade at a group of people and then stealth kill just one of them with a knife, something strange happens. Everyone else affected by the smoke gets killed in the exact same way.
Man, you know who I am, loco?
In the mission tagging up turf, CJ has to spray a bunch of tags around Los Santos. At one point, Sweet says he's going to go do another hood.
You hit this up here, and I'll go up and do another hood.
But if you check, he's actually not doing anything at all. He just sits in a car back on Grove Street, waiting for CJ to finish. Rockstar probably left him parked there because the game needed Sweet loaded in memory somewhere nearby. Here's a detail that shows how deep San Andreas' physics actually go. Engine placement matters. Some cars have engines in the front, while most sports cars have them in the back. If a front engine car falls into water, the front sinks first. But if the engine is in the back, the rear goes down first. This happens because engines are the heaviest part of a car, and gravity naturally pulls that weight downward first. It's real-world physics. There's a billboard in San Andreas that advertises a street cleaning company called True Grime. This is almost definitely Rockstar poking fun at the True Crime game series, which was a competitor to GTA back in the day. Anyways, on PC, if you press caps lock while flying a police helicopter, you can actually turn the searchlight on or off. Sadly though, you can't control where it points. It just goes here and there without any proper direction. If you somehow change the player model from CJ to another character, then go into a gym and work out, the game completely breaks. When you come back out, CJ turns into a total nightmare. His body glitches, stretches, and deforms into something straight out of a horror game.
Out, player.
If you hop into a clean car and drive it around for a few minutes, you'll notice it slowly gets covered in dirt and grime. Pretty realistic for a game from 2004. Out in the countryside near Blueberry, there's a random telephone pole that looks normal at first. Until you check it in free cam, you will find out that most of the pole is actually underground. And this isn't just a glitch. This exact spot is the 0 point, or you can say midpoint of the map. Rockstar most likely used it as a reference marker for building the entire map of San Andreas. At night, farms across San Andreas look completely empty and silent, but once morning hits, the fields suddenly come alive. You'll see farmers out with tractors, harvesters, and machinery going about their work. It's a small detail that makes the countryside feel way more alive than you'd expect for a game this old. In the mission Tagging Up Turf, the one where CJ runs around with a spray can tagging over ballast graffiti, the spray paint is absolutely needed here, which is why the game gives it to you at the beginning of the mission. However, it is actually possible to get rid of it. All you need to do is replace it with another item like a camera. Conveniently, there's one on the first floor of CJ's house. The game is of course prepared for this. If you normally pick up the camera during the mission, it instantly fails. But if you add a camera to your pocket using a trainer while standing next to Sweet, things start to get interesting. Sweet will leave his car, and if you provoke him enough, he becomes aggressive. But instead of attacking you with his fists or a gun, he pulls out a spray can. And if you think that's harmless, think again. The spray can is actually one of the most overpowered and frustrating weapons in GTA San Andreas. Why? Because once it triggers the choking animation, the player cannot break out of it. Around San Andreas, you can actually find trash bags on the streets with flies buzzing all around them. Cool detail. If you take a BMX into a pay and spray, instead of fixing it up, you'll get a unique message on screen saying, "I don't do toys." In each of the 3 cities in GTA San Andreas, there's a side mission that a lot of players completely overlook, the Courier missions. In Los Santos, if you head to this specific 24/7 store, you'll notice a bike parked outside. Hop on it, and the mission starts. The objective is to deliver packages to different locations around the city. It's actually a solid way to make money early in the game. If you manage to complete 4 delivery rounds in a row, you unlock passive income from that business, allowing you to collect up to $2,000 every so often. You can also find courier missions in San Fierro and in Las Venturas. Here's a wild detail. If you're using thermal goggles in San Andreas and you shoot a pedestrian, you can actually watch their body cool down as they die. At first they'll glow red from body heat, but as they lose blood and life, their body turns blue in the scope. Everyone remembers Pier 69, right? Well, here's a fun detail. If you already have a sniper rifle when the mission starts, the cutscene plays normally. But if you don't have one, Caesar will actually hand CJ a sniper. I'm sure you all know the observatory in GTA 5, the place where one of the most memorable missions in the game takes place. But did you know GTA San Andreas also has an observatory? Yes, right here. And honestly, it's one of the most beautiful locations in the entire game. The crazy part? It's never used in any mission or cutscene, not even once. It just exists. To this day, nobody really knows why Rockstar never utilized it, especially when it looks this good. Did you know that when you change radio stations in San Andreas, CJ actually plays a little animation where he messes with the radio buttons? Most players don't notice it because they're too busy driving, but it's a neat little immersive touch. In the street races with Woozie, Catalina and Claude from GTA 3, the game is supposed to show Catalina riding with Claude, which makes sense for the story. But there is a glitch in the game in which Woozie will appear instead of Claude in the driver's seat with Catalina. So basically, Claude gets swapped out for Woozie, which looks really weird mistake done by Rockstar. San Andreas has a total of 233 pieces of clothing you can buy across 6 different stores. That breaks down into 75 torsos, 43 pants, 41 shoes, 17 glasses, 12 watches, 12 chains, and 33 hats. And that's just the regular clothing in shops. If you add in special outfits and unlockables, the wardrobe is even bigger. In the mission Pier 69, when Ryder escapes by boat, there's a small island right next to the boats. If you swim over there, you'll often find a couple kissing. Most of the time, it's a male and female couple, but every now and then, there's a small chance the couple will be the same gender, like male and male. There's actually a secret ending in the mission Stowaway that most players never see. Normally, in the mission, you board the cargo plane, kill some men in suits, grab the parachute, plant the explosives, and jump out to complete the mission. Simple. But if CJ jumps without picking up the parachute, something different happens. A hidden cutscene plays where CJ falls all the way down and crashes straight onto a parked car, dying instantly. It turns out the cops in San Andreas actually know CJ by name. If you get busted, you can sometimes hear them taking his name as they arrest him.
I'm gonna get this bastard. Mr. Johnson, you are under arrest.
I'll ruin your career for this.
When I was younger playing San Andreas, I always wondered what that weird N symbol on the radar was. Turns out it just means north. But here's the fun part. If you actually try to follow the symbol and keep heading north as far as possible, the game eventually starts to break. The world glitches out, and if you keep going far, the game just completely falls apart. In the mission St. Mark's Bistro, where CJ flies to Liberty City to take out Marco Forelli. Unfortunately, the version of Liberty City we get is extremely limited, so there's no real exploration beyond the interior of the building where the mission takes place. However, there was a point during development when Rockstar actually considered adding much more of the city. Due to the technical limitations of the PlayStation 2, that idea was eventually scrapped. During the mission Snail Trail, you're told to follow the train all the way to Los Santos. But halfway there, you'll pass a much shorter train. If you decide to follow that one instead, it leads to something really weird. Once it leaves Cranberry Station, the train goes off the normal tracks and follows a phantom route. You can even jump onto it, and it'll start flying through the air, clipping through mountains, and eventually taking you out of bounds on the map. In San Fierro, there's actually a statue that's meant to represent Rockstar Games founder Sam Houser, one of the legends behind the GTA series. What's cool is that the statue isn't a brand new model. Rockstar just reused the same character model from Vice City. In the very last mission, when Tenpenny's truck crashes and takes part of the bridge down with it, most players assume that destruction is scripted just for the ending. But here's the cool part. You can actually break that bridge at almost any point in the game. If you use explosions or smash a vehicle into it hard enough, the bridge will collapse the same way. And even better, if you leave the area and come back later, the bridge magically repairs itself. Out in the desert, not far from Area 69, there's an abandoned building that most players never think twice about. But in the game files, it's actually labeled as a research lab. Considering how close it is to the military base, it likely had something to do with secret experiments, maybe even alien research. Rockstar never confirmed anything, so whatever this place was meant for remains a mystery to this day. The Hot Knife is a pretty awesome vehicle in San Andreas, and Rockstar actually went the extra mile with it. If you look closely, it has a rotary engine that's fully animated and moving while you drive. That's a crazy amount of detail for a car most players probably don't even pay much attention to. By now, almost everyone knows about the famous ghost car in GTA San Andreas. But there's an even stranger detail most people miss. The ghost car is already damaged, and no matter what you do, pay and spray won't fix it. The color changes, but the damage stays. What makes this creepy is that if you take a similar normal car with the same damage, it repairs just fine. Why this specific car refuses to be fixed is still unexplained. If you visit this spot near the bridge connecting Flint County and Los Santos, you can find a mysterious NPC standing there and taking photos of the city. Once they're finished, they casually walk straight into the water, ending their own life. Even if you try blocking their path with a vehicle, they'll still find a way into the water. Over the years, this bizarre behavior has sparked countless theories. The most logical explanation is that the NPC is simply programmed to follow a specific path. It's likely that during development, the coordinates were misplaced. So everyone knows about learning new fighting moves at the Los Santos gym, but here's what most people miss. You can also learn unique fighting styles at the gyms in San Fierro and Las Venturas. Each gym teaches different moves. The San Fierro gym teaches martial arts, while the Las Venturas gym teaches kickboxing, and most players finish the game without ever unlocking them. The tow truck in GTA San Andreas is actually way more powerful than it looks. You can use it to tow almost anything in the game, even tanks. But the moment you try towing the Rhino, everything completely breaks. The game's physics just can't handle a towable vehicle being attached to something that heavy and immovable. As a result, the tow truck starts glitching out and suddenly jumps out of nowhere. The BMX bike is actually the strongest vehicle in the entire game. Yep, stronger than even a Rhino tank. You can blow it up with rockets, satchel charges, grenades, even set it on fire, and nothing will destroy it. The only way to get rid of it is by dumping it into the water. In the mission Ranfali, CJ has to steal a car and deliver it to Woozie's garage while gangs attack you along the way. To help players keep track of how much damage the car is taking, Rockstar added a special on-screen health bar just for this mission. Now here's where things get weird. If you take the banana to Transfender and respray it, the mission health bar suddenly drops. At first glance, this makes absolutely no sense. But there is an explanation behind it. You may have noticed that the banana in this mission is far tougher than a normal one. It can take significantly more bullets before catching fire or exploding. This isn't accidental. It was done on purpose, so the mission wouldn't be overly difficult. When you respray a car at Transfender, the game does repair it, but not intelligently. The game assumes every vehicle is a standard traffic car and resets its health to 1000 HP, regardless of what its original value was. So in a normal situation, that's full health. But in Ranfali, where the mission health bar is based on a 3000 HP vehicle, resetting the car to 1000 HP means you're left with only 1/3 of the bar. The game is technically being accurate. It's just ignoring the fact that the car was special to begin with. And this behavior isn't exclusive to this mission. Anytime a mission uses vehicles with boosted durability, visiting a Respray can quietly undo that advantage. In Fort Carson, near Tierra Robada, there's actually a spin-off version of the Vinewood sign, and right next to it is a Clucking bell that's completely unique. Unlike every other fast food spot in the game, that's open 24/7, this one actually closes and opens depending on the time of day. It opens at 6 a.m., making it the only restaurant in the game with working business hours. In the mission Pier 69, if you blow up the boats before Ryder gets to them, he just gets stuck on an island, standing there doing absolutely
Now you better
nothing.
shut up.
There's a sign out in the desert that seems to break the laws of reality. From one side it looks perfectly circular, but if you walk around to the other side, it suddenly turns into a square. Like seriously, what's happening here? Inside the Crack Fortress, there's a statue of Big Smoke, but it's not his final design. The statue actually uses his beta model, which can be seen in early screenshots of the game, and he's not the only one who changed. Ryder and Sweet both had very different beta designs too. If you tried to walk across the whole San Andreas map from one end to the other, it would take you over an hour in real time. Pretty impressive, especially when you remember the map is actually smaller than GTA 5's map. During the mission drive-by, CJ actually can't get a wanted level, no matter what you do. Players quickly figured this out and started using the mission to sneak into other islands early in the game without cops chasing them. It basically lets you explore the entire map freely with zero consequences. If you just want to mess around and have some fun, here's a classic trick. Activate this cheat on screen. Then stand on top of a civilian's car and shoot it once. The driver will panic and start speeding, and once they reach high enough speed, the car can actually start flying. It's one of those dumb, chaotic things a lot of us probably discovered as kids, and it's still just as fun today. Did you know that GTA San Andreas has a hidden jealous girlfriend mechanic during dates? Under specific conditions, there's a 50% chance that another one of CJ's girlfriends will suddenly appear about 7 seconds after you start driving your date home. She'll immediately begin chasing you, and if CJ gets too close to her, a special hidden cutscene triggers where both girlfriends confront each other, trading insults and arguing in the street.
How could you date someone so ugly?
Look what the pusher dragged in.
When this happens, the date instantly ends, and CJ loses progress with the jealous girlfriend. However, there's a way to avoid it. If you react quickly and outrun her, you can finish the date normally without triggering the confrontation. If you're driving around in a supercar or a high-end vehicle, NPCs will actually stop and stare at you. Women especially will turn their heads more often, and that's tied to CJ's sex appeal stat.
Man, you know who I am, loco?
Darling, I've got what you need.
I guess you all know this, but let me refresh your memories. If you go extremely fast when driving train, it will derail. At the beginning of the game, almost everything is locked. You're not supposed to access any of activities yet, but there's a glitch that lets you open everything right from the start. During the intro cutscene, when you reach this specific point, type in the Rocket Man cheat. After the cutscene ends, CJ dies and respawns at the hospital, and suddenly, all those early game restrictions are gone. Let's check out by going to gyms. So yes, you can access gym, which confirm the trick works. Did you know there is a very simple way to become a millionaire right at the start of the game? There's a super simple trick. After the introduction mission, save your game, then head straight to the horse betting shop. Bet all your money on one horse. If you lose, just reload the save and try again. Repeat this a few times, and you'll have more money than you'll know what to do with. Easily the fastest way to get rich in San Andreas. Out in the countryside, you can find a completely unique tree that's leaning almost sideways. Nobody really knows if Rockstar put it there on purpose or if it's just a bug. But the cool part is, you can actually walk up the trunk and stand all the way at the top. Throughout the entire story of San Andreas, CJ can earn a total of around $693,000. A big chunk of that comes just from completing the final mission end of the line, which is $250,000. Back on the PS2 version of San Andreas, there was actually a 2-player mode, and people loved it. It was such a cool feature for its time. You could just grab a second controller and mess around in Los Santos with a friend. But when the game came to PC, Rockstar completely removed it. The game's code shows that San Andreas was originally supposed to have a fully usable skateboard. Not only would it work as a vehicle, but it could also double as a weapon. You'd be able to ride it around, then swing it as a melee weapon if you wanted to. Here's something interesting about how the game runs. In certain areas, San Andreas will purposely slow your car down. This was done to help the game render more objects without lagging. On highways though, you'll notice your car can reach a much higher top speed compared to City Drive. There's also a very rare gang interaction most players never notice. If you park your car in enemy gang territory and just sit there for too long, gang members might walk up and start kicking your car, trying to bait CJ into stepping out and fighting them. You don't see this often because the feature is poorly programmed and rarely triggers, but it does exist.